Hi everyone, I'm Yuri Galimidi, and today I want to talk to you about the science of motivation and the practical steps you can take to actually increase your own level of motivation. About 2 years ago, around tax time, I felt very demotivated and I just couldn't get myself started on doing my taxes. So, feeling very frustrated, ultimately, I hit the pause button and I did a deep dive into the science of motivation. I just really wanted to understand what keeps us motivated and what makes us so very unmotivated in certain situations. So, what I've learned can be represented in a model, a motivational model that I want to share with you now. And this model actually includes 5 steps. Number one is the cue or the trigger that actually starts the whole motivational loop going. Number two is our memory circuits buried deep inside of our brain. Number three are the emotions that these memories actually evoke within our mind. Number four is our motivation to act or our demotivation to procrastinate. And number four is the reinforcement of our memories that occur when we experience the same thing again and again and again. So let's start with an example that occurred about 2 years ago when I was confronted with the task of doing my taxes. So the first thing that happened is that I was exposed to some trigger. It could be a physical trigger, an external trigger, like something we see or something we hear. And in this case, it was the TurboTax logo that I kept on seeing on my computer desktop. Or it could be an internal trigger, a thought that somehow flashes inside your mind unexpectedly. Whatever it is, whether it is an external trigger or an internal trigger, those triggers evoke the memories that are buried deep inside the circuits of your brain. And your brain asks itself an immediate question, sometimes non-consciously. What does the logo of TurboTax or the flashing thoughts of having to do my taxes actually mean to me? And those memories could represent something pleasant that occurred for you in the past or something very unpleasant, which was the case when my brain brought up the unpleasant memories of having to do my taxes in the past. The next step that happens is that those memories are presented to the emotional circuits of our brain. And then our brain reacts again non-consciously to these memories, either by evoking some pleasant emotional reaction or by evoking some fear of pain or discomfort, very unpleasant emotions. And in my case again, the memory of the unpleasant experience of having to do my taxes year after year after year evoked a very negative emotion of discomfort and even some level of non-conscious fear that I faced every time I have to do these taxes. And that negative emotion brought the prefrontal cortex, the executive decision-making part of my brain, to a decision point. That Monday morning, I had to decide, do I actually pick up all my paperwork, open the TurboTax application, and start to work on my taxes, or do I procrastinate again and postpone doing my taxes for another day? If I decided to do my taxes that day, and I again experienced those negative emotions, the memories that those negative emotions would evoke inside of my brain will be reinforced again and buried even stronger and deeper inside of my brain memory circuits. So what can we actually do to turn around a situation where we are demotivated, where we want to procrastinate and not take action, into a situation where we are motivated, And we are eager to start doing these steps. So here is a step-by-step practical approach that you can take to improve your level of motivation when you are faced with those kinds of negative, demotivating situations. Number one, develop your real-time self-awareness. That is to say, get in touch with the negative emotions that you are feeling. Understand what kind of past memories actually evoke these negative emotions and try to get in touch with those negative memories as well. Number two, imagine or actually engineer positive outcomes from this negative situation. And let me give you an example here. So I decided to trick my brain, and what I did is overpaid my estimated taxes for the year so that when I do submit my return to the IRS, it will result in a fat refund tax from the IRS, which will make me very, very happy. So I turned an experience that involved very negative emotions into one that involved positive emotions, as my expectations of this fat refund tax from the IRS grew stronger and higher and higher. The next practical step is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Namely, practice implanting inside of your brain memory circuits the positive experiences that will result from turning a negative outcome to a positive outcome for which you have very high expectations. And the more you practice, the more you create stronger and stronger positive memories related to that activity or that task that initially you felt demotivated about. So I invite you to try these 4 practical steps in situations that you feel demotivated about. And please do email me at yuri@thewilltochange.com the result of implementing this approach in your own life. I'm very eager to find out whether it worked for you or not. And before we conclude for today, I'd like to invite you to our free Career Strategy LinkedIn group, where we meet by Zoom every second Wednesday to discuss matters concerning our careers, challenges, and insights that could help us improve our career progress. So please click on the link below to join our free LinkedIn group. Additionally, I'd like to invite you to learn about our 6 weeks Competitive Career Roadmap course. If you'd like to learn more about this course and possibly to enroll in it, please click on the link below this video. And finally, if you like the content of today's video, please click on the subscribe button below, and also don't forget to click on the little bell, which will remind you every time I share a new video, which will be every Tuesday. And until our next video, please take care, stay safe, and remember, there is no growth inside of your comfort zone. Bye-bye.